Being as Highguard is supposedly releasing very soon, I thought it'd be fun to do a complete trailer breakdown. The trailer they've released is literally the only marketing done on the game so far, so they either want us to go in completely blind, or it's just releasing with nothing. I understand there's a lot of hate for the game. I personally don't think it looks that great, but I'd like to get my hands on it and actually give it a test before making a final judgment. So yeah, this video is a bit of fun, don't take it too personally, and who knows, it might surprise us all and be half decent. We open the trailer with a massive tower with some kind of swirling mass on the top in the background, and then the warden, that's what heroes are called in this game, who's doing the voiceover in the foreground. Later on we can see he has some kind of storm or lightning based ability with extendable rods that can channel lightning. From what I can tell, the rods are here on a drop down from his belt. You've got to imagine that they extend when he wants to use them, so I'm pretty sure I'm right. He also has a pistol holstered behind him. This could be a normal weapon or possibly tied to his abilities. I couldn't really see anything else special about his player model, so let's move on. There's a scene with a sort of blimp airship coming into dock. We also see one in the sky during the opening sequence. If I had to guess, this is either the way you spawn in, or alternatively, it could be a mode of transport across the map when you're in game. I guess it'd depend on how many players are actually in a single match. And then, of course, it could also be decorative and have no use at all. Then we see him trying to jump down from a high ledge, only to be prevented from falling with a magic horse. Assuming the devs have actually put thought into this trailer, we could possibly infer that there's no fall damage in this game, and you can actually will a mount into existence, which would break your fall. Because it's a magic based ability, maybe it's on cooldown, but I'm guessing you'd also be able to use steeds to ride across the map as well. Storm Guy then joins up with two other squad mates. We can all see they're using different mounts. One's riding a big panther and the other a brown bear. Maybe mounts add another layer of customization to the game. It could be purely cosmetic, or possibly they are tied to a warden. For example, if you pick the Storm Guy, you're always going to be using the horse. We see him pull out a gun and shoot down an enemy. Their mount disappears and they drop mid-air. Then he pulls out one of his lightning spears, throws it at another enemy. I'm feeling like this is his tactical, and then the storm ability later has to be his ultimate. But then he dismounts and throws an axe at another player. Like most games, I presume you'll be able to pick up ordnances as well, so I doubt axes are tied to him as a character. It's a throwable that you can pick up like grenades. Then he pulls out another gun. I feel like it's an SMG or LMG. This is also one of the few times we see an ADS shot as well. Another thing we see is that every player killed drops this red orb. I'm not sure if it's a soul or a piece of life force, but we can imagine a similar thinking to Reyna from Valorant, except it's not player specific. Everyone killed drops these red orbs. I might have been wrong about the axe, because then we pull it out of someone else's red orb and use it to break into another. Do I know what the hell is going on? No. But if this is all intentional and meant to show game mechanics, I guess the axe is some kind of soul axe. Maybe you can harvest souls to heal or overcharge your abilities, and you can throw it to finish off enemies and also get it to return to you. We then see a close-up look of our second warden. Obviously got some kind of animal, devil, hunter type inspiration. They've got some consumables on the waist, probably a tactical ability, maybe call upon a spirit or something. They're also using a rifle, so it could be a tracker type hero. Then in quick succession we see two monsters, one made of ice, charging through a wall, and one made of roots or nature. I'd bet these are elemental golems or monsters. NPC characters you have to fight. Maybe the map is split into elemental zones, so you know what type of enemy characters reside where. Maybe they guard some form of treasure, or are simply just traps. We then focus on a player that's riding the big cat or panther steed. They shoot a rocket launcher and break through a wall. The trailer showcases a lot of this destruction, but as you're probably already aware, it's not proper destruction like Battlefield. There are just some pieces of walls that are breakable, I'm guessing for entry points and flank routes, but it is just these specific pieces. Not everything can be broken. He jumps on through and then starts sliding, so I think that will be confirmed in the game. We then see an ally get downed and they drop a blue orb, so it's quite likely you'll be able to revive them from that. Maybe harvesting your enemy's orbs have the added benefit that they can't be resurrected by their allies. It's basically finishing a knocked teammate. Then he activates what I presume would be his tactical ability, a leap, and then a claw slash, which takes down another enemy. We then see a warden with a big hammer. He pulls out a shotgun, shows off another ability, not really much to note here. Then we see a finishing move from a character that reminds me of both Fade and Reyna from Valorant. There's some tentacles coming out of her back, but nothing really hints to what she'll be able to do with them. Then we see some cinematic sweeping shots of the environment. We've got some kind of ice biome, and then a earth/nature one as well. From the next sequence, I honestly feel like I understand the game loop, so I'm going to explain it now. Each team has a base they need to protect. We can see them protected by these big shields. I'm guessing this is where you'll spawn in, buy new equipment, etc, etc. Then these swords, called shield breakers, spawn in across the map. I'm guessing they'll have dedicated spawn points, so it's not completely random, and teams will have to fight each other to collect them. Once collected, obviously if you die you'll drop it, but once you get a sword, you'll need to assault one of these home bases and reach a pillar. Doing so will allow you to input your sword, and it will summon a siege weapon to break down the home base's shield. In this case, a massive battering ram. The battering ram will then destroy the shield and allow any attacking team to enter the home base, and their aim is to destroy whatever this is by planting a bomb or some kind of device which will knock the enemy team out of the game, or at least prevent them from respawning. And then obviously while this is all happening, you have to make sure that you yourself are not being attacked at your own home base while leaving it undefended. That's roughly what I think the gameplay loop will be. We'll see if I'm right. And then when the shield breaker spawns in, it will have these clouds at the top like we saw. Cool. Now there's just a few abilities I haven't mentioned. We've got this sand desert assassin type lady. She can make a portal through those breakable surfaces I mentioned to pass through without having to shoot them, and has a few throwing daggers at her disposal. There's also a warden who generates an ice wall, which is pretty much just Sage from Valorant. You then have a warden with an eagle. I have no idea what they do apart from that. And when the ram breaks through the shield, we see a guardian spawn. I think this could just be a normal player character, being as it drops an orb when the storm guy uses his ultimate ability, but I still think it'd be really cool if each base had its own guardian that spawned in when they were under attack. You also have the jumping claw guy from before, and he uses some form of ultimate ability to bust in, plant the bomb, and win the game. Well, that's the trailer breakdown for you. It's the first one I've ever done, so there may be some mistakes, but I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I guess we'll see if Highguard absolutely bombs on release, or maybe, just maybe, surprises everyone. Thanks for watching.